Hi, everybody. This is Chrism, and I'd like to welcome you to this conversation about your Kundalini awakening experiences. And today, I'd like to talk to you about retribution and revenge and things of that nature. You never really want to go into these areas with the Kundalini. You have to always have the presence of mind to offer an individual who may be threatening you or hurting you or doing something to hurt you in some way. You must always offer a chance for redemption. Okay, you must always offer a chance for redemption, a chance for the person to find a better way or to have a sudden understanding, perhaps given to them by your Kundalini or by their Kundalini. A lot of people, when you're talking with them about Kundalini, they have a very specific reality matrix. And if you begin to, in some ways crumble that reality matrix, it can make them very angry. It can make them, most of all, it makes them frightened. And so in their fear, they try to attack. They try to attack you, and they try to make you stop crumbling their reality. And so I get death threats because I crumble people's reality. And I always have. Ever since 2005 when I started teaching, and maybe even a little before that, the focus was really to realign a person's understandings of what life is and how, within a Kundalini context, a person can begin to refine their life towards having and holding more Kundalini. And often, that requires that your old belief system structure needs to go away. So you don't reward that with any kind of retribution or revenge thinking. So if they hurt you, you get kicked out of your job. If they kill you, well then that's kind of on them, right? But you can never want to kill them. Just don't. Literally, the worst punishment you could give a person is to let them live with what they have done. Okay, that's the worst thing that you could really do, and that's, in many ways, that's the most appropriate response to violence against yourself. And also, of course, move yourself out of the way of that bulldozer. You don't need to have people around you threatening you or anything like that. So, also consider your own health when it comes to these types of issues. You'll never, if you do what I'm doing, and some of you will, some of you here are going to be a Kundalini teacher, and then maybe even a smaller percentage of those people will be doing it all the time, okay, every day. And you just want to be aware of rocking people's reality. You don't get to control that. You do not get to control that. That is controlled by your Kundalini. It's controlled by the Kundalini through the information that she gives you to give to them. It's controlled by your Kundalini in the way that the Kundalini reaches out through this video or through a picture or through something that she's written through you, reaches right into their soul and begins to challenge the reality of their life. Not everybody's happy to have that. Some belief systems will claim that you're evil, or that you're, the spawn of Satan or some other, cartoon character. So you need to understand this. And I wrote it on the group, Kundalini Awakening ! Group. And Josh, I'll get to your statement there in a second here. I wrote it on the group, and because I get death threats. And it's just, as I wrote, it's just an opportunity for forgiveness. It's a great opportunity for forgiveness, and I want you to see it in that light. Now, Josh writes, this is extra hard when there are threats to your child involved, and that's true. Kids can be the worst. So in some ways, you need to step in to help your child through some of these things. Now, if they're being beat up, then you need to go there and physically either confront the attackers, the bullies, or to in some way form a shield against any further physical attack against your child, and emotional attack as well. Let's not forget how devastating emotional attacks can be. These are, the more you get emotionally attacked, the more likely a person is going to suffer some kind of derangement. A lot of the serial killers were bullied. I think Robert or Dahmer, whatever his first name is, was bullied his whole life before he decided to partake of people. So when your kids are involved, you got to step in. You got to step in and you got to go there physically and find out what the heck is going on and why, and then visit the other kids' parents and ask them what's going on with your kid. Why is he attacking mine? Blah blah blah. And in that case, because we're not dealing with death or anything like that, time to go to karate school. Seriously. I found when I learned martial arts, I never had an opportunity to use them after that. Seriously. Once I knew how to defend myself, I never had to. Okay, that can be another positive response, because it gives you a level of self-confidence that diffuses any kind of victimization or victim energy that your child may be giving into these bullies. So, there are ways through this. And you just want to understand how important it is that you don't fall into revenge thinking or retribution thinking. And to Nicole Rafaela Lusby, hello, right back to you, my dear. So it's an important scenario to understand. It's an important scenario to come into a level of self-realization with. You don't match aggression with aggression all the time. Sometimes you've got to. But most of the time, as a Kundalini person, remember, I'm talking to Kundalini populations here. As a Kundalini person, you do not need to be in revenge thinking. You just let the Kundalini take care of those areas. And as I said earlier in this conversation, just letting a person live with what they've done is often punishment enough. And so, if you have any questions about that, I'm open to them. It's a little hard here because there's a time lag with regards to receiving questions in this format. I just want everybody to know that all my fellow mortals here are happy. Lasha and Ishta and Anara and Mr. C, the Crow. Everybody here is happy and healthy. As a matter of fact, Ishta is so happy and healthy, she reached up onto the table and took my 2 pieces of toast. Yay! She knows how to get what she wants. So there you have it. Anyway, I'll be posting at least one more video, and I don't see any questions coming through. So many blessings to all of you, and many blessings to David Sulabarizde and anybody else, Ayman, who may be posting this up on YouTube. and you'll be able to reach this on a YouTube channel. I'm trying to remember the title of it. Maybe David, you could post that. There you are. I see you're on. David, sorry. It just slips my mind. I'm like, you kind of like you're when you're on camera, you're pressure. You're on, you have pressure, and it's like sometimes some things just don't make it through the pressure. So, love you all, and I'll see you again in a few minutes.